Hi, so today we're working on some basic obedience skills and we're going to work on down. Now, down is a really useful cue to have when we want our dogs to stay away from us, for example, to get some relaxation and to work on some impulse control. It's a lot harder for dogs to bounce around when they're laying down. And today we have Winston the Frenchie, who's going to help us demonstrate how to teach it down from scratch. So he hasn't not done it before, so he'll be learning it from scratch today. My name is Camille, I'm with Positive Futures, and today we're doing down. Good, so to start down, I usually like to have my dogs in a sit first, because then the booty is where it's already supposed to be. And with my dog in a sit, I'm gonna grab a little piece of treat, put it right in front of his nose, and move the treat slowly towards the floor. Good job. Very nice. And reward him as soon as I get belly on the floor. And a lot of times I also like to reward every few seconds that they stay in the down, because a lot of times they tend to follow our hands, so when you give the treat, as soon as your hand goes up, they just pop up. So I like when they actually get already staying down. Good job. And then to reset, I'm going to toss the treat. Well, you reset it by yourself so he can get up again, and then we're going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to ask him to sit first, so the booty is in the right spot, treat right in front of the nose, and moving down. See, I'm moving pretty slowly because I want him to really stay focused on the treat, and as I'm moving, he's just gonna slide into the down. Ready? Good. Nice, good job. Now with smaller, shorter breeds, it can be harder for them to lay down and follow the lure because they can typically stretch, so they can hold this position for quite a while without getting tired. So what you can do if your dog is not following the treat and kind of sliding into the down, is instead of going straight down, you can go to the side. So here, and I'm gonna go towards his back paw. Oh, the booty get it. And if the booty comes up, we're gonna sit again. Good. Nice. So by going to the side instead of straight down, it makes it easier for my dog to shift their weight and go into the down position, especially if they're super flexible and do the bendy noodle, what I call, where they just tuck their heads in and then just stay with their butts up in the air. Good job. Can you come over here? Yes, very nice. Can you sit? Very good. Nice. And once I've had 3 to 5 really good repetitions of luring where he's following the treat readily and going into the down position right away, then I can introduce the hand signal, which is going to be pointing at the floor. So I'm going to do it without a treat in my hand. So we're going to start in the sit. Sit. Good job. Empty hand. Nice. So I'm doing the same hand motion as I was doing with the food lure, but there's no food in there. And I'm still moving nice and slow so that to him it doesn't look any different than what we just did before. Over here. Good boy. Sit. Yes. Ready? Nice. And as soon as I get belly on the floor, he gets a treat. Very good. Okay. So once he can follow my hand signal pretty well when I'm moving really slowly, I'll start being a little bit more normal with my hand signal, so I'll just point at the floor. Nice, good job. Because eventually we want to move away from having to get their nose to the floor, and we want to be able to cue them from a standing position. Good job. Okay. Good job. Nice. Okay, ready? Good. Sit. Good. Very nice. Right, so now I'm not putting my hand quite as close to his face. I'm really just pointing at the floor. Good job. And as he gets better, I'm just going to start moving more and more towards an actual standing position. So instead of being really close to the floor, I'm now on my knees standing a little bit taller. Nice. Nice. And so a lot of times you do want to give them a few seconds to think about it, because, oh, wait a second, I saw that before. I can't remember. Oh, right, I lay down and I get the treat. If you keep down, and moving around, you just kind of reset your dog every time. So you do want to just pause and give them a good 3 to 5 seconds to figure it out. You get your attention. Okay, sit. Good boy. Very nice. Good job. And you'll notice I'm not saying the word down yet. And that's because dogs have a hard time with words. They're not a verbal species. So a lot of times we want to introduce the verbal cue once they actually know the behavior already. So once I have a consistent down following the hand signal, that's when I'll introduce the verbal cues. And so now that I've had nice 5 or 6 repetitions in a row of him following the hand signal really smoothly, now I'm going to introduce the verbal cue for him. Winston! Yes, come on, come here. Good job. So I'm going to ask him to sit. There's nothing on the floor. Good. And then I'm going to say the verbal cue first, pause for 1 second, and then give him the hand signal. And that is so he can start anticipating that when I make the sound down, he's going to see a cue for down. Ready? Sit. Yes, the food is in there. Sit. Good. Winston, down. Nice. Good job. And again, I'm pausing and allowing him to think it through because something just changed, right? I'm saying something different before I cue him to down. So it's normal for them to have that little so you just pause, wait for it, and as soon as you get belly on the floor, you can warn. Okay. Good boys. Let's try that again. Winston. Good boy. Winston, down. Good job. What a good boy. Good. Nice. Okay. Good boy. Are you ready? Good. Good. Sit. Nice. Winston, down. Nice. And what I'll do over time is I'll start delaying more between the verbal cue and the hand signal. So this time I said down, waited 2 seconds before I give him the cue. So again, it gives him a chance to anticipate that the next thing is going to be a down and for him to offer it before I have to show him the hand signal. Good job. Sit. Good boy. Winston, down. Yes, thank you. Good boy. And now right now he's going to get a jackpot. So I'm actually going to give him 3 pieces of treats because he did go down on that verbal cue. And you can see he was sitting and then he twitched and then he thought about it and then he lay down. So it's really important for you to be still and kind of allow them that moment to think it through. Because again, if I had cued him again while he was thinking, he probably would have been confused and stopped and got up and did something else. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Winston, sit. Very good. Winston, down. Oh, so if we make a mistake, we'll just reset back to the sit. Good job. Winston, down. Uh-oh. Try again. You can do it. I know it's hard work. Sit. Good job. Ready? Down. Nice. And again, I don't want to make it extra hard for my dog, so I'll give him the 3 seconds to think about it, and if I see that he's getting confused, I'll help him out. I don't want him to get frustrated and think it's too hard and leave the game. I still want him to kind of stay with it and be like, oh, this is a fun game to play. Good job. Okay. And sometimes you might have to do a few repetitions in a row that are easy, where you're helping your dog out before you try the verbal cue again, just to kind of remind them what we're doing. Good, so when practicing down or pretty much any new skill, you want to make sure your practice sessions are pretty short, so 3 to 5 minutes, just because it's repetitive, so it gets pretty boring for our dogs, especially if you have a young dog that already struggles to stay focused for longer periods of time. Good job. And especially if you see too that, as you're progressing, your dog is starting to get really distracted and isn't following your directions, that usually means they need a break. So you're better off doing really short sessions multiple times throughout the day versus trying to do 20 minutes of just practicing down. Good job. And remember too that dogs are very specific when they learn. So right now he's learned down hand signal in the living room. If I were to move in the kitchen, I would go back to the first step of luring him down a few times and then doing the hand signal really close to him a few times, because as soon as you change one criteria, you need to be a little bit more flexible with what you're asking and to help them out a little more, because it's going to be harder for them to transfer those skills to different places. Good job! Yay! Oh.